Okay, so the Curse of Fey, session 4. We're getting through these very, very quickly. I didn't expect it the 2 weeks for each session to go by so fast. But here we are again. And the last session saw our players making their way finally to a strange new land. No explanation of how or why they got there. But let us recap what happened previously. So, all the party were enjoying the festivities of the Feyring Festival, where they were enjoying various games of chance, treats that were sold at various stalls, and at a carnival that had been set up by the Duchess of Daggerford. Through the event, some of you partook in some of those games. Some of you went for some of the games of chance. Some of you bought items. And towards the evening of that day, there was a final event that people had been waiting for, which was the introduction of Madame Katrina, an elderly goat woman who was there to tell the fortune, or perhaps give advice to those people, and in going over the details of the story of the Feyring Festival for those newcomers who perhaps didn't know all the ins and outs. All the things had been forgotten with time. And so after explaining the details of how this festival came about, going into detail about two lovers, one from the Feywild, one from the mortal world, who were unfortunately unable or denied to the love that they so helplessly had for each other. One cast back to the mortal realm and banished, never to be able to return. The other one locked away in the Feywild somewhere. And this carnival, this event, was the 800 years centenary of that event. Now, a lot of that information had been lost to time, and Madame Katrina was able to recount that to you. At the end of her speech, she was calling people from the crowd up to have their fortune told, or perhaps some kind of information that would be useful to each person in the future. And she did this with the aid of an almirage, which is a bunny-like creature that has a horn on its head, a bit like a unicorn. And this one was a pure white one. You'd seen a similar almirage that was in one of the tents that sort of like teleported itself around. That one was a more traditional color. This one happened to be white. And those of you that were called up was based on the ticket stubs that she was drawing from a large bowl. And funnily enough, you all happened to have a ticket that had a symbol on it that she requested. Lucky that. And one by one, you made your way onto the stage, at which point she asked you all to fan out a deck of cards. And for each one of you, the almirage took a little look and thrust its horn forward, piercing the card at the top corner and adding it to the one it had done previously. So in the end, it had 6 cards on its horn. And with that, Madame Katrina was in the preparation stage of taking each card and telling you your fortune. However, before that could happen, an almighty storm seemed to rise up from nowhere, and the wind thrashed through the festival, many people scattering to find safety, running into tents, flying into tents at some point as well. And even though you were all on the stage and were trying your best to hold on, almost all of you were immediately swept up with this wind. Struggling a little bit to try and hold your feet, you were thrown and cast into tent that was behind Madame Katrina. Moira, you were the first to get flung through this tent, and in doing so, you smashed into something hard behind you. Luckily, your constitution was high enough to stop you from losing consciousness, but you were, for a moment at least, or it felt like a moment to you, falling in a sort of a never-ending void. And all sounds of this storm around you was sort of momentarily silenced. You were quickly followed by the rest of your party, and when you all regained your senses and sound came back to you, you found yourselves where you currently are, in a strange wooded area. And this area is, one, it's strange because you weren't in the forest a second ago, but also there seems to be some almost like a rose tinted light in this area. The trees around you are not all that much green, as opposed to sort of hues of pinks and purples. Perhaps it's just the fact that the canopy is so dense at the moment that light isn't be able to shine through it to its fullest, but it does feel almost claustrophobic in the fact that it's such dense and very humid in this current area. You would also have seen when you landed that there appeared to be quite thick briar that was intertwined within the forest around you. And while you were still looking around and getting your feet, I think it was Bula that you saw cards on the floor. Was that right? Bula?
I don't.
I'm so sorry, I missed that.
Did you? I think you were the one who found the cards. Was it? Did you find the cards on the floor when you landed?
I did, yes, and I
You did.
followed them up to the bush.
Right, fine. So yeah, so the cards, there was a trail of them leading up to a bush when you first landed, and they all have a hole in the corner of them, suggesting that obviously the almirage that Madame Katrina had also made it through to wherever you are at the moment. However, in searching the bush, you were unable to find the creature, just the cards that were left behind. Bula, I think, also was the one to discover that off to the north of where you were when you landed, you actually saw some bright pink creatures with long, thin claws and horrible salivating tongues, standing over what looked like the body of a large bear. The bear itself was injured and lying motionless on the ground. But there also seemed to be two bodies of other similar creatures that had been dispatched, possibly by the bear itself or in some way had been killed. But the final one obviously was taking its last strike at this animal. Discussing briefly what they should do, Bula led the charge in attacking this last creature. And as a party, as a group, you came together and managed to defeat this creature. After defeating it, you had a momentary look around the body of this bear and the creature itself, discovering that the bear itself, where from a distance it looked like it had some sort of material wrapped around it, it actually turned out that it had been wearing a cloak, and nearby was actually a hat. So unusual for you. Bears don't usually wear clothing, but this one appeared to have done. Unfortunately, you weren't quick enough to be able to save the bear itself, but it did have a satchel around its shoulder and welt. And I think, Moira, you're the one who discovered that? Was that correct?
Not entirely sure.
I think it might have been you, but possibly somebody else. But the satchel itself contained several items. There were 5 pink berries, 10 gold pieces, and an envelope with a wax seal with the letter L imprinted into it. Now, I believe, Bula, you're the one who currently has that letter?
I do indeed.
And I think the only other thing of note was that after this had happened, and because of the stress of coming to this area and being thrown into this sort of unusual area and being taken away from those that you knew, Galatea has wandered slightly further down the path, trying to come to the terms with what has happened, where they are now. It's all been quite a lot to deal with, not just for them, but also for the party, I would suggest. So that's where you currently find yourselves, in this area. Now, sadly, last week we didn't have Quack with us. So a lot of that information I think you've probably gathered maybe from watching the previous week's session. But before we start, do you have any questions? I did pilot your character briefly in the combat, but if there's anything you want to ask me before we start, then please go ahead.
No, I think since I watched the last episode or last session just about 4 hours ago, I'm kind of caught up, I feel.
Awesome. The only thing that I believe I used was your one of your abilities to move quickly. I can't honestly remember which one it was now, but you have an ability, don't you, that you can use on a short rest, I think?
The Blessing of the Raven Queen, yeah.
That's right, yeah. So I did use one of those, which I think has already been, it's already been tagged off in your character sheet. Lovely. Okay, well, if there aren't any other questions, we shall begin today's session. So, after this battle, this short battle with this creature, you now stand around the body of this bear. What would you like to do?
Tisvan would go after Galatea, just to make sure that none of us leave or go too far away from the rest of the party, since we don't know where we are.
Sorry, that was the game for you.
Galatea, please. I understand that this is distressing, but we need to stick together, since we have no idea where we are at the moment.
We need to get back. We can't. We can't stay here.
No, of course not, but walking off too far can be dangerous as well, since we've just got attacked and we don't know what else is out here.
To that point, I think I mentioned at the end of the last session, perhaps not, but as you were looking at the bodies and you were searching the bear, you did hear in the forest where there were noises that were similar to forest noises, but just slightly off. You did hear, towards the end of the session, a shriek in the distance, followed by another and another. And whether they be the same sort of creature that you'd faced a minute ago, they definitely sounded like they had been alerted to your presence and were possibly drawing into your position. Some way off, but you feel like they may be heading in this direction.
Galatea's gonna tense up at all the sounds around them. Look at Tisvan and nod slightly. And, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go back.
Sounds good.
What?
Question. Is it just for me that the trail paths doesn't vanish?
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm not quite sure what that is. As long as it's not interfering with movement, we'll ignore it for the moment, but yeah.
Seeing that Galatea has come back and having previously noticed that she likes books, just from noticing all the books and things that this lady seems to constantly be carrying around, Ula's going to look at the letter, having read the letter and not really understanding it. She's just going to look at Galatea, whacked the thing in front of her, and hey, word lady that likes the words, do you understand this?
I'll take a look. What is this?
I don't know. They found it on the body. They didn't want to read it. I read it. It's fine, I think.
Okay. Okay, how do we pass items between us?
I can pass it to you 1 second.
Ooh. I want to see.
Do anyone know what these creatures are?
Okay, you should be able to see it now.
They will just stand and skim it for a while.
Yep. All right.
I think that last time I learned that the thing was bipedal from my nature check.
The creature or the bear? Which
The bear.
Yes. So the bear itself looks just like a normal average bear. Quite large, but it's a normal bear. But based on the fact that when you're looking at it with the cloak and the hat and things together, and looking at the body, it does seem that the hind legs or the feet of that seem to be dirty, whereas the paws don't seem to be. So from that, you gather that this bear, although looking as a normal bear, did seem to portray the fact that it might walk on 2 feet rather than 4.
Okay, so Kane would probably pass that information along to everyone if they haven't heard it already.
So this note, we might need to be careful here. Does anyone know what a Chernobog is?
Chinabawa?
I could try doing a knowledge check.
Yeah. I think this would probably be. Well, let's say a nature check. You could probably do possibly history, but I'm not really sure if that would be relevant.
Okay, nature check then. Cool.
Yeah, if you suspect it's like a creature of some kind, I would say do that. If you think perhaps it's a magical thing, perhaps maybe Arcana.
16.
16, okay. The name Chernobog doesn't ring out any particular bells to you. Obviously, I mean, how much context have you given, Kane?
I have given no other context.
Just the name. So yeah, so I'd say that the name Chernobog doesn't ring any bells. You don't recognize it as the name of a creature or an animal or the name of a deity or anything like that. The name doesn't seem to hold any meaning to you.
Kane keeps quiet for now. Listens to what other people might have in terms of knowledge on the thing.
Galatea will sort of look around the area, scanning it for something, and then look back at the note.
Can you all give me a perception check, please?
Oh no.
All of us?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is 17 for me.
13.
I got an 8.
Okay.
22.
22. Okay, lovely. Okay, so those that have got 12 or higher, you hear the shrieks again, only they appear to be closer than they were previously.
All right, for now, I think we need to hide.
Yeah, we need to get going. Fast. Things are closing in, and I don't want to be here when they do.
Which direction did they come from?
So those of you who got 15 and above will be able to hear that say that the rough direction was probably coming from the south of where you currently are.
Okay. I think they came from back there. Let's go up the way I was going. It seems to be a path.
Yeah, there's a loose sort of like trail that goes through these woods currently in the direction that you're going. Not so much of a well-trodden path, but it does seem to be a little bit clearer going through there. Perhaps animals or other people have walked through there sometime, but it's still quite overgrown.
All right then. I guess we should get moving.
Oh, okay. Lead the way.
If we're lucky, maybe we can find a town.
I'm not sure if I want to find a town in a place like this.
Maybe we should move quietly.
Okay, so if you're going to when you're moving on, as you said, are you moving quietly or are you moving fast?
I did both.
So if you were going to move quietly, you'll have to be slower about your movements because you'll be trying not to step on branches, going a little bit more careful. But if you're going quickly, you might make a little bit of noise, but you'll be traveling faster.
Maybe slower then.
We could try and put some distance between us first and then go slow.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea.
Maybe we just roll stealth, and depending on how badly or well we roll, we find out whether we're going quick or slow.
Well, if you roll for stealth, you're doing stealth.
Yeah.
So if you want to move quickly, then you can head off in the direction that you want. But if you're going to be slower, if you're going to try and be careful about what you're doing, you can then give me stealth checks.
I'm really not built for stealth. I would probably just want to start sprinting.
Same.
Clanky man. Okay, let's rush.
Okay, so you're going to go quickly. All right. So, and hearing these screeches and the screams, and now that you hear them say they seemed a little bit closer to you, they definitely sound similar to the noise that this creature that lays in front of you now was making before you managed to dispatch it. So you pick up your things and you head off deeper into the forest following this partial trail. And as you go, the thick dark woods continue in this north direction on a rough path littered with the leaves of the looming trees around you. Dense canopy above you seems to block out what little light there is, and it makes it harder for you to see deeper into the forest. Every now and again, when you do get a glimpse sort of between some of those dense trees, you see this thick black briar just twisted around in the depths of these trees with these sort of almost glowing sort of fuchsia thorns on them, but making it very difficult to see through. As you're traveling along, you're not stealthily. You're just going at pace to try and outrun or at least keep distance with this whatever it is behind you. As you travel, you do hear the noise of the screeching behind you, but it doesn't seem to be getting any closer to you as you start moving on.
While we're moving, can I hand the letter over to Tiswan, who's near me?
Yep. Sure.
Here, read this and pass it to the others. They need to see this.
Okay. So if you're going to pass it all around, what I'll do is I'll just show it to everyone at this point, so that we're not having to worry about who's got it. Well, I'll just give it to everyone.
Cool.
Okay. So let's do this and this. Okay, that should now all be in your journal entries if you want to have a quick look as you're traveling. As you continue through on this path, the winding path of it, you'll notice that there are the area that you initially walk through. Many of you may have walked through densely packed forests and things before, but there's still this odd kind of light or this color to the area that you're going through. It doesn't feel like the same kind of light, airy kind of feeling that you'd feel going through a forest, or the freshness of a forest. It's very humid. This sort of pinkish light, purplish light is kind of making it difficult to see almost. And a lot of the grass and the trees and leaves around you do seem to have this pinkish purplish hue as well. And you're not sure if it's the light that's making it that way or whether they actually are that color. But definitely the ground we would expect to be green and lush from the mosses and things that you can see does appear to be more of a sort of a brownish kind of color. So definitely it feels odd, almost like you're perhaps some of you who have maybe had a few more ales to drink some nights coming back and starting to see or hallucinate things from a drunken stupor might have felt similar visions in the past. Seeing things like a little bit different rather than with a clear head. But it definitely has an odd feeling about it. And after about half a mile or so, the path that you are following forks, with a path leading off to the left and a path leading off to the right.
Well, Kane just goes straight through the middle, doesn't he? I mean, it's just in character.
There's got to be a balance. We have to make our own path now through the middle.
Gosh, I don't know. I would be inclined to flip a gold coin.
If anyone wants to, they can have a sort of a look down the pathways and sort of.
Yeah, I would like to have a look.
Yeah, or give me a perception roll. Just having a kind of a quick look both ways, seeing what the difference is between these two places.
No.
7. Okay, I mean, you're just looking down the path, so it's not particularly difficult. You're not seeing anything that stands out. But from what you can tell, looking down the left-hand path, you see that the path begins to widen as it continues. The trees separate slightly, allowing a little bit more light to spill in from above. The right-hand path, in contrast, seems to narrow, and it seems to be a bit more winding through the trees. However, you do notice that the briar and the thorns seems to diminish along that path.
Which one was that?
That was the right. So you got the left one that's sort of a bit more open, there's more light from above, and you've got the right one which is narrower and more windy. Or it possibly you might have to start walking in pairs or single file if you go further into that one because it's getting more windy. But the thick black briar that you've seen in the trees seems to be less so in that area.
I say we go the less spiky way.
Yeah, that seems like a solid answer.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay, so you
I don't really think I can add anything to this.
Does anyone see anything I don't?
I guess Tisvan would also attempt to look if he's allowed.
Sure, yeah, you can give me a perception check if you want to
I
have a look
give
as well.
him advantage by looking as well.
You can if you want. How are you helping him?
By literally looking as well. I really know how to give someone advantage, to be honest.
So usually with you giving someone advantage, you're helping them in some way. So You could also look down there, and perhaps there's something that Tisman won't see. But I would say that's more of like you might spot something that he doesn't, in which case I'd get you just both to roll. But if you're aiding in some way by, I know, perhaps you give him a pair of binoculars, that would aid him, and then he could roll with advantage because his eyesight is going to be better and see things further. So it depends on the circumstances. Like how are you explaining to me how you're giving this advantage? How are you making it so that they can see better than they would if they just looked themselves?
I don't really have a way to do anything in that scenario, but would I be able to look as well at least?
Sure, of course, and everyone can look. You can all make perception checks and look to see.
Yeah, 12 at least.
That is a dirty 20.
30-20? Okay. Oh, and a 20
I
for
also
Bula as
got a
well.
dirty 20.
Oh, and a 19 as well. All right, some good people looking. Awesome. So you look down the left-hand path. Someone else rolling. Moira as well. Okay, 9 as well. So Moira, you didn't see anything different. All right. So looking down the left-hand path, those that have got 20 and 19s. When you look down the left-hand path, yes, indeed, the trees do appear to be slightly wider apart. There is more sunshine coming down there, or not sunshine, but light coming from the top. And as you look through, although you can still see the briar in the woods down there, you also see what looks to be more plant growth. There you can see sort of like some flowers, you can see mushrooms and things sort of growing there. Whereas you'd notice that there wasn't much in the way of vegetation. It was more sort of trees and thorns and, much more sharp looking things. Looking down the right hand path, again, you see that it's twisted and going through the woods. It looks narrower there, and the briar does seem to have spread out, so it doesn't seem to be as dense. So possibly it might open up, or there is less chance of you being stuck by anything. However, those of you that got 20s, you do sense movement, a little bit of movement in some of the bushes, just about 30 or 40 feet down the path.
That was the movement in the bushes was down the left-hand path, yes?
The right-hand path. The left-hand path was the one that was wider, bit more light, had some mushrooms and plants sort of growing in it. The right-hand path is the narrow one that winds through the forest. It's less briar, but you did sense or hear some movement in the bushes.
One path has mushrooms. This is Fey. That's a safe way.
Tisvan would share that information with the rest of the group that there is movement coming from the right-hand path.
So we go left.
Not that way. Yeah.
You better get going before something jumps us.
Can you give me all another perception check again, please?
Oh no.
All of us?
Yes, please.
Alright,
I
That's
don't
a
know.
5.
Game. I'm the cleric, please.
Okay, so what did you get to this one?
A 5.
5. Okay.
I got a 6.
So you got a 6,
got a
yes.
7.
So I would say
Got
that
9.
Amaros and Moira,
20.
the two of you hear that screeching again, and while you've been deciding whether to go left or right, those screeching noises again, whereas they were keeping pace with you, now seem to be getting a little bit closer again.
I think they're catching up, so we should probably get moving.
Yes, please. Oh no. Oh dear.
Go, go, go.
So which path are you going on, or are you splitting? Are you going some way and some the other way?
Kane starts running to the left, trying to
Left-hand
drag
path.
Bula with him.
After the cleric.
Left.
So going left now? Okay. All right.
No, left.
Okay.
Tisvan would turn to Moira and ask, "Do you want a lift? So we can move a bit quicker."
Would that slow you down though?
Nah, that's all right.
Technically, you'd be moving at half speed. So it depends if you're going to continue moving fast or if you're going to try and be more stealthy. It's up to you.
It's okay, I can run. I might be small, but I can run.
All right.
Okay. So, go on.
Just a question, Faye. Isn't half speed only if you are of the same size?
Oh, that's true. Yes, so she is small. So yeah, you wouldn't necessarily be. Yeah. Okay. We'll say that you probably could put her on your shoulder then, or carry her without too much. And so I'll say we only incur that if you were having more difficult terrain, which would
I'm still running.
cause you more problems in the first place. So I would say yeah. Okay. Unless you're carrying her over rough terrain, then yeah, we'll say that it doesn't incur any slowness. So you can if you want to.
Fair.
I'm still gonna run.
All right.
Slaps your hand away. No, thank you. Okay, so you continue down the left-hand path, which does become slightly brighter the further you go. And you finally start to feel less oppressed by the surrounding trees around you. You're able to travel a little bit more comfortably, although whatever is in pursuit of you can still be heard in the distance. You're now, as you continue, that the noises are still at a distance, but you don't feel them gaining on you as you're traveling. Now the undergrowth and the briar, you see, it has sort of pulled back a little bit. You notice that there's a lot of flora glowing around the bottoms of these trees, but a lot of it seems unfamiliar. Moira, you've grown up sort of in the woodlands, haven't you? And any of those of you that have spent any time there or perhaps have an interest might find it difficult to identify any of these sort of flowers and that. They have unusual colours and grow in sort of odd ways. And as you go through this area, as it widens out, you see various kinds of these plants, but also some fungi as well. And to one side of the path as you're going along, you see obviously at some point a branch has broken away from the tree and fallen down into the path at some point, and has probably died at some point. The wood itself seems to be a lot drier and more brittle. But growing from it, you see a couple of like mushrooms sort of growing on that have tiny little red caps on the top of them.
Can I try to either identify or make some sense of the fungi situation?
Sure. Okay.
Or flora or something.
Yeah. Do you have any skill in nature, or are you proficient in nature, or do you have a herbalism kit or anything like that?
I do have an herbalism kit.
You do. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Then please give me a nature check with advantage.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Sorry, just roll another one as well. Okay, so that's 17.
A 17 and a 13, so we're gonna go with the 17.
Excellent. So you go towards this wooden log, this branch that's fallen down, and yeah, you see a couple of these little fungi, and they're sort of growing out of the side of the dead branch, and they've got small, bright red caps to them, no bigger than about an inch, and they glisten with a kind of like a dew on them. They've got a thin frilled ring around the stalk as well, and yeah, they look very, very sort of pretty. You don't necessarily know what the type is specifically. So the plants and the mushrooms in here are different than a lot of the ones that you would have seen in the mortal realm, but you think it's probably closest to what you would call a scarlet fey cap. And this is an edible, you think, an edible mushroom, so not poisonous.
I'm gonna try sniff it.
Yeah. It doesn't have any particular aroma to it.
I wouldn't eat anything here if I were you. I think I know where we are.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not gonna eat it. I can't say that I know for certain what these are, but the closest thing that I can tell is the scarlet fey cap, which would be edible, but again, it is. I'm not 100% certain, so let's not.
Okay, well, grab them if you want, but we've got to keep going.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna grab a few.
Okay, so there's only 2 that are in there. There are a few like other ones that are starting to grow, but these are the only 2 that are actually currently big enough, whereas they might be useful in some way.
Okay, then I will take just one.
Cool. And as you step forward to grab these, you kind of get a funny feeling in your feet. The path beneath you suddenly becomes a little bit more soft and liquidy. And as you steady yourself, you feel that your feet becoming weighed down, and you get a horrible sinking feeling.
Help!
Oh no.
Can you make me a DC? I'm going to tell you DC. Can you give me a Wisdom saving throw, please?
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Hold on. How did I do save throw again?
So if you click on your character.
Yep.
And then you'll be able to go up to your where are we? Attributes.
Yeah.
And you got your abilities there.
Yeah.
So you click on your what did I say it was? Wisdom.
Normal roll.
Just a normal saving throw. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Well, not good, but it's fine. So under the leaves and twigs, so where you stood, you discover that there's this sort of a horrible ashen grey slurry that has begun to sort of stick to your feet and slowly sort of sucking you down. Your feet seem to slowly sink into it. You got the mushrooms, by the way. You get the 2 mushrooms.
Can I get myself out of it?
You can, yeah, if you want to give me a strength saving throw.
Oh,
Strength. Let me hang on 1 second. Let me just read over this.
I reach
yeah,
out
just
to
a
her with my tail,
a strength.
so she has something to grab onto.
Okay, so give me a strength check with advantage in that case. Oh dear. Okay, so you go to grab onto Amoros's tail, but unfortunately your hands slip from it, and you aren't quite able to move your feet, and as you are trying to pull yourself, their tail sort of slips out of your hands, and you don't actually get any purchase. Can you roll me a d4, please?
Help.
Okay. Just remind me, how tall are you?
Hold 1 moment. 71 centimeters. So 2 feet and 3.95 inches.
Okay. So as you're trying to pull yourself out or get yourself free, you're probably moving your legs, trying to hold onto the tail to pull yourself out. Unfortunately, without much purchase and with the movement that you've been making, you slowly, not that slowly, sink into this slurry, this grey slurry. And after a moment, you feel yourself just above your waist deep into this effectively quicksand.
Help, 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 help! Help!
Right.
Help, help, help,
Pull.
help, help!
Everyone pull.
Yeah, can I hold out my quarterstaff for her to grab?
Okay. So,
Is that the same thing?
okay. So my first question is, Amoros, how close were you? I suppose you must have been within 5 feet for her to be able to grab your tail.
I was pretty much right next to her.
Okay,
I
cool.
would say.
So, could you, first of all, give me a perception check, please?
Uh-oh. $17?
Okay, cool. So yeah, I would just say when you were going forward, you were careful to look at the ground to make sure that you weren't getting close enough that you would step into the same situation. Unfortunately, yeah, she wasn't able to pull out, but that was you. You're not in the same situation currently. I can't remember who it was who said that they were going to go forward now to help.
I wanted to put out my quarterstaff so that hopefully she could grab it. I could
Okay.
hoist her out of this like sinking mud.
All right, so your quarterstaff is going to be within 5 feet as well, isn't it? So if you're going to go forward, I need you to make me a perception check to see if you can find a place to stand that gets you close enough, but that is not in a place where you will be.
I'm
Stepping
imagining
into-
Lynn and Bula just reaching out their quarterstaff both at the same time.
Almost, almost.
Can we? Because I mean, I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Okay, perception. Oh, that's an 11.
Okay.
Not 20.
Okay, so
Oh, boy.
first of all, as you rolled first, Kane, you step forward with your staff, quick thinking, leaning forward to try and give Moira something else to hold on to. However, with your armor on as well, you're that little bit heavier, and whereas Amoros, when they stood forward, were light enough or not near enough to actually start sinking in, you put a foot forward and you slowly feel that ground beneath you start giving. Could you please give me a wisdom saving throw?
Okay. I should, in theory, be good at these.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, that's
That'll
good.
Be another nat 20.
Perfect. Very, very good. All right. So now can you please give me a strength check, please?
Okay. Ooh, 17.
That's good. Okay, so you do feel your foot start to sink, but you're quick enough to be able to pull your foot free before it gets too far into it, and you find purchase. So yes, you can hold your staff out now and see if you can help Moira.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just try to steady myself. Plant my feet down.
Okay. And
hold
just
it out.
incidentally, Bula, you were also rolling for the same thing, were you?
I did indeed, yes.
Okay, so you passed your perception check. So you were looking on the ground as well, and you found a place where you can stand that is close. So you can either both individually look and try and use your staffs to. Are you using a staff or something else?
Quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff. Okay, so you can either both use your staff to try and give one person advantage on or Moira advantage when she's rolling, or you can both take a separate attempt at trying to free Moira.
I don't know. Maybe just separate for now.
Yeah, since we didn't coordinate, this is just a coincidental both going at the same time, so we'll individually do it, but like we're just very similarly timed in what we're doing. So if one fails, the other's there to back up.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So, Moira, you, so yeah, this will take actually. So, you see the cane is putting their staff towards you, and it's near enough for you to be able to grab it to try and help yourself out. Now you are just over halfway stuck into this mud or this sludge or whatever it is at the moment. So with the aid of this, you will be able to make the roll with advantage to try and get out. However, because you are stuck that far down into the mud, it will be slightly higher DC for you to try and get yourself out this time.
Okay. Strength. What was it?
It's a strength check, just straight strength.
Right.
But you roll with advantage, yeah.
17 and a 14.
17, lovely. Okay. So with that, you're able to be pulled up to your feet again. Now you're still in this quicksand stuff, but you're now standing at your regular height in it. But you're now standing in it. So you'll now need to make a check to see if you can actually get out. So it's another strength check. However, I will allow you to roll again with advantage if you grab Bula's stuff to help you out the last little bit.
Grab onto Bula's stuff.
While this is going on, Amos will also keep an eye from where we came, just in case the others are caught up.
Okay, so actually give me a perception check then, if you're going to be listening out for the others.
Should we take their things first?
No, do yours first, please, because you said it.
Blindness of bats,
Cool.
apparently.
So yeah, you can't tell whether or not the noises. You can still hear the screeching behind you, but you're not able to tell whether or not it's nearer or further. You just hear it still. Moira, with that 9, unfortunately, you.
It's 14 though.
Sorry.
No, wait, no, 9. Never mind.
Did you?
Ignore me. Never mind.
Okay. Did you roll with advantage again?
Yes.
Okay. So what is this is 2d20. I'm not quite sure what that roll is.
It was a 10, but I have -1, so it's a 9.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure what the code is there though. It says 2d20, and then a -1. I'm not sure if that rolled properly or not. But
Advantage.
yeah, but okay. So if it was advantage, you'd be using the 14 then, wouldn't you?
But that
was the previous one.
That was a previous roll.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
I'm not because it's saying 2 minutes ago and 1 minute ago.
Right. Okay. All right. So you got 9 that time. All right. So all right. So you're with the aid of Kane, you managed to get pulled back up out of the sludge that you were down to your waist in, and as they pull you out, you're still in the puddle, but you've got back to the surface. Unfortunately, when you grab hold of Bula's staff and they try to help pull you that last little bit out, you step forward and you start sinking in again. You're not haven't sunk back in, but you're unable to get completely out of the whatever this slurry is. So you're just sort of standing like where you were at the beginning. All right.
Oh my god.
And actually, you need to make me another wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh lord. Normal.
Yes. Oh, very good. Okay,
It's
so
not 20.
no 20,
Oh.
perfect. All right, so yes, you're fine. That's all right, good. Okay, so while this has been happening, Galatea and Tisfan, what have you been doing?
Looking out.
Yeah, keeping an eye out.
Okay, so do you want to give me perception checks as well, please?
That is another dirty 20.
Okay.
Ooh, 20.
And a 20 as
Yeah.
well. Okay, perfect. Okay, so both of you listening out as well as Amoros as well. You both listen. You definitely hear the screeches and stuff. And whereas you were hoping that the whatever is following you might think you've gone down the other path, they've definitely followed you the right path, and it almost sounds like they're on top of you.
But we need to
Tisvan will pull out his glaive and warn the others that they're coming. They're almost on top of us.
And sorry, what did you say?
We need to hide.
We need to hide. Okay. So all right. So somebody is telling you to hide. The other people are telling you to get ready for a fight. Either way, you're all alerted to the fact that whatever is following you is almost upon you. All right.
I'm sorry.
So I'll give you the option now. Are you preparing to fight, or are you hiding,
I'm hiding.
or are you helping Moira?
I wouldn't hide. It's just not Kane's nature.
Okay.
Tisvan wouldn't hide either.
Is Moira not out yet?
They're not waist deep anymore. They have been pulled to the surface, but they're not out yet because unfortunately they didn't roll high enough on the last roll. But they will be able to roll again in a minute. But we'll just wait to see what you're all doing first.
Amoros normally would hide, but I also want to give the opportunity to buy time for the others to make sure that Mori is out of this mud. So just to be sure, he's preparing an Eldritch Blast for whatever creature he sees first that he deems hostile.
Okay, all right. So you're going to hold an action to do that. Is that basically what you're doing as well, Tisvan? Then.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you're sort of you're holding your action to kind of attack if something comes through that needs attacking.
If this is the situation, we're gonna just have to get ready.
Okay. So are you hiding, or are you getting yourself ready to attack as well?
Getting ready.
You're getting ready. Okay. You're getting ready. Amros is getting ready. Tissan's getting ready. Kane, are you helping Moira, or are you also getting ready?
I'm gonna help Moira.
Okay. And Bula, what are you doing?
I think she's just BRB'd for 5 minutes.
It's okay. I happen to.
Yes, he's just putting the babies.
Okay.
I will also continue helping Moira.
Okay, so the two of you are helping Moira, and the other three of you are preparing yourselves in case anything comes up.
Technically, my tail is still extended to Moira in case she needs it, but
You can't do both. You'll either have to prepare or you'll have to help.
Yeah.
You have to decide which one you're doing. But so which one are you going to do? Help, or are you going to prepare?
I'm preparing in this scenario.
Okay, fine. All right. Sorry.
Could are we positioned in between the creatures and Moira, or?
Well, nothing's there at the moment, so there isn't any positioning yet because we haven't started combat or anything. So don't take what you're seeing on the screen as where things are at the moment. This is just
that's why I'm asking, because I would like to position myself between the creatures and Moira if possible.
Sure. Okay, all right. Well, once we get to that point, I'll let you decide where you want to be before we start.
Sorry.
Okay. So, all right. So the three of you are preparing, and the other three of you, Moira, you're trying to get out of the puddle, and Bula and Kane, you are also trying to help them out. All right. So what I'm going to do is grab you all and move you down here so we have a little bit of space. Okay. So we'll say that this is the rough area. This is a wider area that you're going to be on. Select here. So, Moira, I'm going to say that you are here. I'll just move you guys out there. You can put yourself in at the moment where you want. And Kane and Bula. didn't want this guy. You can go away. And let me just get rid of these things as well. I don't know why all those things have stayed on the screen, but we'll just leave them there for the moment. We'll pretend they're not there. Okay, so Moira, that is where you are, but if the rest of you want to position yourselves where you want, so we'll say that although down here is where it's sort of like closed off, this is the direction that they will be coming from.
Yeah.
Something like that, I think.
I'm good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
awesome.
Protect the mouse.
Okay, perfect. All right, let me just see if I can get rid of these lines on here somehow. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to deselect them, but we will just have to put up with that for the moment. I'm not quite sure. As I said the other day, that there's some things happening with Foundry at the moment, so unless you can remove them yourselves, I'm not quite sure how we will get rid of them. But let us continue. So, I
Refreshing
think.
gets rid of it.
Sorry.
Refreshing the page got rid of it.
Oh, did it? Okay, perfect. All right. I think it's about time that we started an encounter. So, could you all please roll me initiative?
Uh, $14. Damn, Moira.
21. Forgot that this was push to talk.
5.
14.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who are we missing? Bula. Has she stepped away or?
Possibly.
Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Well, while we wait for them, I will just set up some things here then.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay. Could you roll for initiative, please?
I think these guys would need some moisturizing.
Why is my initiative always so bad?
Hey, you and Kane are in the same end.
We
Perfect.
chose strength, very slow strength.
Excellent. Right. Let me
Yep.
let me roll for these dudes.
Oh, no, thank you.
Uh, Okay. Okay. So let me just up the. There we go. Let's set the scene a bit more with some music. All right. So Moira, as you are flailing around in this muddy puddle, you are trying to get yourself free. Bula and Kane are both trying to aid you in pulling you out, but you're still currently stuck in there a little bit. And Tisvan, Galatea, Amoros, you are aware that there is something coming, something that is catching up with you. And as you look and prepare yourselves, breaking through from the path where you had previously run, you see two more of these bright pink almost like fuchsia-coloured creatures come running out of the forest themselves, screaming. Their sort of long saliva-covered tongues flailing behind them. They appear to be wearing like a very sort of patchwork or torn, very dirty and scuffed kind of armor of some kind, like they were wearing something previously. But they are definitely some horrible, disgusting creatures now, not very lost any humanity to themselves. And that little picture there that shows a zombie is not actually a zombie, but it is a zombified mastiff. So they have this dog that seems to have picked up your scent, and it's been leading them in this direction. And they come barreling through into this area. However, because you have prepared yourself, hearing their approach, they don't get a surprise attack in it. And those of you that were holding an action will be able to go before we start the encounter. So, was it the three of you were getting yourselves ready? So, Amoros, you technically are the first one to act because you are higher in the chain, although we're doing it before the encounter starts. So, what was it you were preparing to do?
I was preparing an Eldritch Blast, but I'm wondering, could I have prepared a Fairy Fire instead?
I'll allow you to change, but yeah, normally I would ask you to like name the thing you're going to do. So if you want to do Fairy Fire this time, that's fine.
I did name it as Eldritch Blast, but also thinking through it, I should have said Fairy Fire, but that's also why I asked before saying.
Sure. Okay, no worries. Yeah. So in this case, I'll say that's fine.
I still have no idea what my spells are or do, so I might need some leeway as well.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
I'm placing it there.
So what's the range on Fairy Fire?
The
60 feet. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can let us know what the spell does, so that our viewers and that will be able to know.
Everything within that area is outlined with a blue, green, or violet light. In my case, it's a blue light. And all creatures that are there are you have any attack rolls against them have advantage.
Cool.
If I'm understanding the spell correctly.
And that's correct, as long as they fail the dexterity saving throw. So I've got to roll a dexterity saving throw for each of these guys to see if they will pass. So, what is DC is 13, I believe. So,
for I can see, yes.
Yeah. So let me do a dexterity save. So let's see. On our first creature, they get a 10, so they fail. Okay, let's try the Mastiff. How do they do? Okay, they succeed. So the Mastiff is not outlined, but the first one of these creatures is outlined. And let's roll for the last one. They also managed to avoid this fairy fire. So the first one, this one here, is now highlighted. So let me see if I can just put a little... Yeah, I'll just put that little icon on it so you know they're not actually stunned, but that little icon will show them that they are actually illuminated. So you'll have advantage on attacks on this particular one, but the other two have avoided the fairy fire itself. Okay, so for the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light for 10-foot radius. Any rolls affected and the creatures or objects have advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. Perfect. All right, so that is your go. You cast out fairy fire, and you see one of these creatures illuminated. The other two remain as they are. All right, Amaros, that is your preparation. So next we have Galatea. What were you preparing to do?
So, seeing that one is illuminated, I'm gonna react to that and try and sling a bullet at it.
Okay, what are you casting something or throwing something?
No, it's a sling. I'm using a sling.
You're using a sling. Okay, all right. If you want to, and what's the range? Are they within range?
30 feet. Oh no. 120 feet.
120 feet. Okay, yeah. So they're well within that then.
Well, it says 30 feet to 120
Yeah,
feet.
so it has to be within that range, otherwise you had disadvantage. But they are both within that range, so
Yeah.
that's all good.
Cool.
You also have advantage anyway because of the fairy fire.
Oh yeah. So I have advantage.
Yep.
How do I bring up my character sheet again?
Double click on your character.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna see if I could use my tool in there.
If you go to weapons, and you'll see your sling.
Where's weapons? Sorry.
So if you go to your inventory, and the first option that's
right,
there, it has your unarmed dagger and sling. So if you click on sling, and then you better roll the dice for it.
And I'm proficient as well. Okay, cool.
Okay,
Ooh.
yes, you certainly do hit it. So,
Wait, oh dear.
so you fire this shot. Oh, sorry, I forgot to ask Amaris. What color were you outlining this creature with?
It takes the form of an icy blue mist around the creature.
Icy blue. Okay, cool. All right. So, Galatea, you take this shot with your sling, and it aims true. It goes flying at this creature. And could you roll me for some damage, please?
Nice. It was a critical, right?
Did you get a 20?
I thought so, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yes, if it's a critical, then you get double damage on that one as well. You didn't say, so I wasn't sure if that was what it was.
Yeah, it's it was a D20 plus 2.
Okay, cool. So so you fire that stone, is it that you have on you, or
It's a bullet, yeah.
a bullet? You fire it, and it shoots across the sky, embedding itself in the head of this creature, which almost takes it off its feet as it whacks into the side of it. You say it take a huge blow to the head. Blood starts pouring out of its face.
Nice.
Very, very good. Okay, so let's take that. So yes, that has taken quite a bit of damage from that bullet to the head. I'm being unprepared. Running out and suddenly getting hit in the head was not what it expected to do. Okay, and finally, in this round, we have Tisfin. What were you preparing to do? Can't hear you if you're talking.
Give me a sec. There we go. Sorry, my push to talk was messing up.
Okay. So what have you prepared?
Am I able to move
No.
up to what? No. Okay. Then it's the javelin that I have.
Okay.
Equipped. Let's see. Hold on. That's weird. Let's see. There. So. Javelin. Attack. And I'm attacking the same one that Galatea did.
Yes, sure. Yeah, so you have advantage on that attack as well because they are highlighted in this icy blue mist.
Yep. 15.
15. Yes, that hits.
Rolling damage. Normal. 7 damage.
7 points of damage. Okay, lovely. So you hurl this spear with all this javelin with all your might, going through the air, following the bullet that Galatea launched out. This creature is standing out against the background currently with this mist that Amaros has cast on it, and you throw this javelin. Were you aiming for a particular point?
Center chest.
Center chest. You hit your mark easily, and you just see this creature fall back in pain as it is impaled through the chest, the javelin digging into it, almost pinning it to the ground. And you see blood pouring out of this creature. It's heavily wounded now compared to the others. Excellent. All right. Well, with that, those prepared actions ready and over, we will now begin combat. And Moira, you are currently standing in a pool of what we shall call for the moment quicksand. You are standing on the top of it. However, you're not quite out at the moment. So you need to make me another strength save, please, to see if you can get yourself free of this this muck. I will say that this won't take your actions for Bula or Kane at the moment, but because they still got their staves pointed out towards you, we'll say that you can roll to try and use them to get yourself out with an advantage.
Was it check or a saving throw?
It was a strength check.
Okay.
This is straight strength. No, not don't add anything to that. It's just a straight strength check.
Normal roll.
Yes. Okay. Unfortunately, you grab hold again to try and pull yourself in, but where you stand, you feel yourself begin to start sinking down into the muck again. Unfortunately, you're sort of positioned yourself. You're obviously quite central to this when you were picking up the mushrooms, and you begin to sink in again. Can you please roll me a d4?
Sorry, wasn't it with advantage?
Oh, yes, you should have rolled with an advantage. So can you roll me another d20 first, please?
Well, then.
Sorry, I thought I did say that. Oh, you could have just rolled one.
Ah, God
Well,
dang it.
regardless, it was still too low. So, yeah, can you roll me a d4, please?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Okay, all right. So, as you try and move forward in this muck, the more that you've been moving around, you've been sort of churning it up. And whereas before, the reason you didn't see it before is it was kind of covered with leaves and twigs and things. As you've been walking on it and stirring it up, this liquid or this slurry that's there, which was sort of had a crust to it, that's now been broken, and whatever purchase you had previously from the moving around is completely gone, and this sand just sucks you down and you disappear underneath into this slurry. Can you please make me a wisdom saving throw again? Okay, yes, that's good. All right. One time someone's gonna roll low on that one, but at the moment you're fine. So unfortunately, you do go under this. Get sucked down into this kind of quicksand thing. And Bula and Kane, you look in horror as, although Moy was trying to hold on to the end of your quarterstaff to pull herself out, her little hand slipped off of it and she just got sucked underneath, and you just see her ears disappear. Luckily, Moira, before you disappear underneath, you are able to take one final breath, and you're now considered restrained underneath this liquidy stuff. Do you have a bonus action or anything that you can do anything with? Anything that we could possibly use to save yourself at this moment?
All of my spells are actions.
That's the problem with the cleric.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, all right. For the moment, we'll say, unless you have anything you could use, we'll say that is the end of your turn, unfortunately, because you're not able to move and you're not able to. You've used your action to try and get yourself out. So yeah, you've gone under. Okay. Next in turn is the injured ghoul. Its chest is bleeding heavily. Its head is in the same condition, a big hole, sort of like from where this bullet entered its forehead. However, it is still trying as best it can to get to you and attack. So let me see. Movement 30. Okay, it can easily get up to you, Tisfan. Oh, why are you not moving? Why you not move? Eh? Why you not move? There we go. All right. So this creature comes lumbering up to you. Your javelin's still impaled through its chest and waggling around, almost hitting itself in the face as it lollops towards you. And as it gets up to you, Tisfan, it is going to make an attack against you. It is going to lunge forward. Actually, you know what? It probably can't actually get forward and try and take a bite because the javelin is in its way. So it is just going to reach out and try and slash you with one of its claws. Does an 8 hit you?
That is a miss.
It's a miss. Okay, because it was running over. It tries to make a slash with its claws, but in fact, that javelin sticking out of its chest kind of gets in the way. And as it tries to swipe towards you, it kind of gets entangled with the javelin itself. And rather than grabbing you, it grabs the end of it, and it's just trying to pull it out of its chest out of the way so it can get a better attack on you. That is the end of its turn. All right. Next, the putrid skin of this zombified mastiff comes running up. Unfortunately, Tisfan, with you being front and center, it meets you first before it can get past. And it is going to take an attack against you. Let's see, you're okay. Does a 6 hit you? No. Okay, so this horrible looking dog comes running up like that. You can see part of its skull on one side of its face, and it is a hideous creature to behold. It comes running up to you and also tries to make a bite against you, but you either move quick enough or your armor is enough to deflect it, and its jaw just sort of bounces off of you. And finally, we have one other ghoul. It will actually run up by the side, but it will try, seeing the other two attacking you, it will actually focus on the character behind you in the cloak. Perhaps that will be an easier target than you. And so Galatea, this creature runs up to you, and it is actually going to try and take a bite against you, I think.
That's fair.
Oh, I was almost on a 3, and then it bounced back to a 17. So that's a 19 to hit you.
I think that probably hits.
Okay, so this horrible creature comes running up like that, lumping on all floors, its tongue salivating and whipping around its face as it runs to you with bloodshot eyes. It lunges forward and bites down into your flesh. Ooh, that's an 11.
How much is down this?
That's
I'm out.
As it lunges forward, unfortunately, it bites deep into Galatea's arm. The pain right through your body. You feel a burning sensation spreading up to your body, into your chest, and either the pain itself causes you to lose consciousness, or the lack of loss of blood as it starts pouring from your arm, and you collapse on the floor unconscious. Okay. Luckily, those three creatures were after each other because I forgot to look in the combat if they were next, but luckily they're all next to each other, so good going, GM. Okay, Amoros, it is now your turn.
Eldritch blast this little shit. With advantage on that, yes.
Are you going for the one that's highlighted?
Of course.
Perfect, go for it.
Hopefully I can take it out too.
Oh,
Are you bloody kidding me?
Unfortunately, you let go of your Eldritch Blast on this glowing item. But I think, this is personally me, it could be such, you can tell me different. I think you hear the gurgles and the sound of Moira being sucked underneath the puddle behind you. And as you turn, worried for her condition, your Eldritch Blast just whizzes past the ear of this creature. And it heads off and slams into a tree in the distance.
I mean, topping it off with the character that is right in front of me going down in the first hit is also rather bad.
Yes, that's probably also two things happening. One behind you, one in front of you as well. Yes. Yeah, you see Galatea hit the floor too. Unfortunately, it goes wide. Do you have a bonus action or a movement that you want to make?
As much as I want to protect others, I think I'm gonna move around them because in this scenario, Amros won't be able to take a hit, I would say.
Okay, so you're going to move?
Yes,
Okay.
and I walk around Kane.
Okay, can you give me a
Yes,
perception
sure.
check as you're moving around, please, to make sure you don't step any more of this this sludge?
I can do it. Okay.
Good.
18, that's good, I think.
Yes, that's good. So yeah, you tiptoe around, trying to move as quick as you can, but also very wary that whatever this stuff is on the floor, you know that there possibly could be more around here. So as you move across, you step lightly over the area and manage to avoid getting stuck in any of it. Anything else?
No, that would be my turn, because I can't do anything else.
Okay, no problem. Galatea, could you please make me a roll, a death save?
Is it utility? Yeah. No.
You should be able to if you if you click on your character utility. Oh, it didn't say it on there. Okay. Oh, you haven't taken your character down to 0. That's why. You're still at full health at the moment.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Cool. Then you should be able to make death saves now. Yeah, if you go to utility, you can make death saves.
Yeah. Oh, just for the record, my kid just went to check if I was all okay. Cause, like,
So come back in 3 rolls.
So I hope you feel guilty.
Oh no.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that was a natural 1 for those of you listening.
Does that mean I'm out?
You lose 2 death saves.
2.
Okay.
That will teach me for coming for the DM.
Okay. Kane. You see Moira disappear into this grey sludge in front of you. She was trying to pull herself up on your staves, and although you and Bula are both trying on both sides to pull her out, her hands slip and you just see her disappear. At the same moment, you turn and you hear this horrific cry from Galatea as whatever this creature is bites into her, and you see her hit the floor very, very hard. You're almost for a second concerned that she might have just outright been killed. But you're in this situation now where you see 2 of your comrades in dire straits. What do you do?
Okay. Seeing the rather dire situation in front of him, Kane decides, it's time to knuckle down, get serious, really try to help the people in the situation. So he is going to quickly look to Bula, and he's going to look to Amoros, and he is going to say, well, one of us is already down. I'm gonna go help them, and you get her out of whatever sinking mud or sand that is. And raising his shield up so that Amoros, Bula, and if she was above the surface, Moira could see, he's going to cast Bless on the 3 of them.
Do you on who?
On Moira, Bula, and Amoros.
Does Bless require sight?
3 creatures of your choice within range.
Within range, so it doesn't require sight.
As long as they're within 30 feet.
Okay.
Yes, it doesn't state sight.
Okay, perfect. All right. So so bless. Okay, cool. So even though you can't see her, you know basically where she is, and so your bless goes out. Now, does your bless have a particular look? I suppose does this sort of manifest it in some way, like a halo of light or something, or is it just non-corporeal? It doesn't mean anything. You just feel like blessed. Hashtag blessed.
As I lift the shield, there'd be a semi-translucent image of a set of scales, and they would start to slowly tip in one direction, and as they tip in one direction, you see the words favor underneath.
Cool. And that gives them an extra d4 on their roll.
Yes, saving throws and attack rolls, you can now roll an extra d4 and add it to the result.
Perfect. Now, because we're all new playing this game, and because we're early on in the campaign, I'm just going to make a couple of quick suggestions. Feel free to ignore it completely. In this situation, I would suggest, because one of your characters is down, that perhaps you use bless on them, just to give them that advantage on a roll.
My next port of call was to try and help them.
Okay, cool.
But
it's up to you.
is...
I'm just gonna say, with that bless, I'm just thinking with one of your characters down, that might give them advantage.
Does Bula have more strength than Amaros? Because I'm assuming that's what will be needed to get Moira out of this.
I have
sinking stuff.
-1, so yes, she definitely has.
Okay, I will instead bless Galatea. So
You don't have to, but I just thought I might.
That's a fair observation.
Yeah, I
would rather they don't die today.
Yeah.
That would be preferable.
I don't want to sort of mega. I don't want to sort of like instill things in you, because obviously it's your game. But because we're early on in the campaign and everything else, I just want to make sure everyone has the best chance of getting through as we go. And I just thought I might just point out they might benefit from it, but I won't normally do that. So.
From one DM to another, it's crushing to see someone die this quick. I understand.
Yep.
I am then going to, after lifting my shield, commanding the others to focus on getting Moira out of there. I would like to, if I can, move here.
Sure. Yeah. So sorry. Who did you bless? You blessed Galatea, Moira, and
Amaros.
And Amaros. Okay.
I would actually, if I may, suggest blessing Bula, just to make sure we get Moira out.
Yeah. If you want to pass it up, I'd be happy to hand it over.
Yeah, I'll happily pass on it just to get our little mouse mascot back on the field.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so you've got Moira, Bula, and Galatea.
Yes, correct.
I feel the need to mention that bless only gives on the saving throw and attacks, not ability checks.
It's the best I can do. I'd give you something for ability checks if I had one.
Yeah, but it technically doesn't. It would not matter whether it was for Bula or Amaros. But I just so there's no misunderstanding on it.
I'm scared they might end up falling in with you. I thought it might help with the wisdom saving throw.
Cool.
I am going to grab my quarterstaff, bash it against my shield, and just shout at these creatures, "Come at me!"
Awesome. Okay, so that was your action, and your movement. Did you have a bonus action you wanted to use?
I grit my teeth and tell Argental that I hope I'm doing the right thing.
Okay. All right. Bula, you see Moira has sunk deep within the whether this quicksand is in front of you, and disappeared off. Galatea fallen down over into one side, possibly dead. Kane rushes off and heads toward the battle. What are you doing?
She is gonna get angry and she is going to rage.
Okay. So you enter a rage for up to a minute, and you've got advantage on your strength checks and saving throws. So, what is your next? What are you now doing to do?
And in the midst of that rage, she is going to scream out, "Little mouse! You better not die on me!" And she's going to plunge her fist into where she assumes Moira roughly is, and she's going to try and pull her out with her own strength.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So you thrust your hands down. Moira has literally just gone in to this muck, so you know basically where she is. It's a case of reaching through and just trying to thrust your hands in to pull her out. So as you're not moving, you don't need to make any saves or anything like that. But I will need you to make a strength check. This can be with athletics, and you will have advantage on this. So please see if you can pull Moira free.
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, perfect. So you thrust your hands into this horrible grey sludge, and you pull with all your might. You find something there. You grab hold of it, and you start pulling and pulling and pulling, and you see the face of Moira as you pull her to the surface of this horrible sludge. This horrible grey ooze just sort of dripping from her face, and Moira, you're probably gasping for breath after this horrible sludge has been coating your face. Your fur is thick with this horrible sludge now. That's going to take some washing out. However, she pulls you up to the surface, and you are now standing up on top of the surface again. I will make on your go the ability when you move. You'll have to make another roll, but you are for the moment you are out of the this sludge. You've been pulled back to the surface again. However, Bula, because you've put your hands into this stuff, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. But you've got a D4 you can add to it because you are blessed. Okay, so that's 15. That is fine. So you nothing happens to you. You put your arms in and you pull your little mouseling friend to the surface. Would you like to do anything else?
That's I will actually, I'll run up next to Kane since I do still have movement.
Okay, so okay. I will say if you want to, if you're going to be moving, and with that good that 20 that you got on the strength check, I'll say that if you want to have half movement, you will be able to try and drag Moira out as well.
I will take you up on that action.
Yeah? Okay, but you will need to make me just one more perception check to make sure that you don't step anywhere that you shouldn't. That's a 9. Okay. So where will you be moving? Just straight down?
Yes.
Straight down. Okay. So even with half movement, I think you'll be able to get where you want to go. And you pull Moira out, and she will be... you can let go of her basically where you're standing now. So if you move your character down to where you want to be. So you literally pull her out, drop her to the ground, and then run forward to join Kane. Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Moira, you are completely now out, and you're on the side. You are coated in this grey ashen sludge, but you are now completely free of it. The point where you've been dropped is free of the sludge itself, because you know Bula was standing there moments ago. But you are covered in this stuff still. And Bula, you run up. And Bula, you run up to at the front as well. Now you don't currently have a weapon drawn, but you can do that on your next turn. Okay, so Tisfin, 'tis now your go. You have creatures flanking you on either side and a dog nipping at you. You heard Galatea probably scream out as she went down, but coming up behind you in defense, Kane and Bula are running up.
Tisvan will take a single step forward. So he's still not out of any melee range, so no attacks of opportunity there.
Yep.
And then he'll grab his glaive and try to slash this one.
Yep, sure, go for it. And you got advantage on that because it is still glowing. Yep.
17.
Easily hits, yes.
That is 10 damage.
10 damage, okay. How do you kill this creature?
After the step, Tisvan takes his glaive, spins around, and slashes the head off this
Perfect.
horrible being.
Excellent. And you, as you swing around, this creature's still trying to pull the javelin that you stabbed into it earlier. It looks down, momentarily looking up as it sees you move, and as your glaive comes around, you just sever its head and it goes flying off into the woods, hitting the floor, and actually landing for a second before being sucked under where another pool of this sludge was by the tree line, and his head disappears, the body slumping to the ground.
And that is my turn.
No bonus actions or anything?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, no worries. All right, top of the round, Moira. You are now out of the sludge finally, but you are coated in this horrible grey stuff. Could you please give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, dear God. Normal.
Just normal. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna get someone. I'm gonna get somebody at some point, but keep rolling too damn high.
D4 as well.
Add a D4 on top of that.
It's a good roll, but you still have the D4.
So you rolled a 20, or got a dirty 20, and what else? You would have added what to it? What's another D4 on top? And another 3. So you had a 23. So yeah, easily enough to avoid whatever this thing is that I keep making you roll for. So what would you like to do?
I say, I feel gross. But I would look around, see that things have happened, and oh no, Galatea's down. Ah, it's my fault. I would like to make my way to Galatea.
Okay. Yep.
If that's
I'm just marking
allowed?
that. I'm marking that area there, and I'm marking this area here because they have shown themselves to be areas where there was, whatever this grey sludgy quicksand is. Yeah. So moving around to there, that'll be fine. No roll. Both Kane and Bula have run past that bit, and it is safe to do so. And you get up to Galatea. And you can see that she's taken a heavy wound to her arm, and she's collapsed on the floor. She's looking in a bad way, and standing over her body is this pink, horrible creature, its tongue salivating as it looks like it's going to try and take a bite out of her on the next turn.
I have a couple of choices. I am going to spare the dying.
Okay.
I touch Galatea's arm and say, "Please, Wild Mother, spare her. This is not her time."
Excellent. And as you call to the Well Mother to aid you in this, you feel the breath of Galatea that was very, very faint slowly stabilize, and her breathing becomes normal. She's still unconscious, but you feel like she's stable enough that she won't die anytime soon. But she is injured, and any further damage could be fatal.
be my turn.
Let's return. Okay. All right. This ghoul, it's dead, so we don't have to worry about it. The Mastiff sees Tisfun coming round. You've just topped the head of its master off. It isn't very happy about that, so it is going to try and take an attack against you. And it is going to take another bite against you. See if it can do better than a 6 or whatever it was last time. No, it's another 8 again. So this creature bites wildly at you again. You deflect it away, perhaps with the half of your was you carrying your
Glaive.
You slice around and just bat it away. This puppy not able to make any progress on you. The other ghoul standing over the body of Galatea at the moment was about to take another bite of it when it saw an armor-clad character running up, brandishing a quarterstaff. Not seeing any danger from the creature on the floor, it turns its attention to this other creature and is going to attack you, Kane. It's going to lunge forward and try and take a bite against you.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 16 hit you?
I deflect it with my shield.
Nice. So you bring it through like that, just bat it away as it's a horrible pointed teeth and tongue salivating, trying to bite into it. Your shield holding fast and stopping it making purchase on your skin. Very, very good. Okay, Amoros. You've just witnessed the horrible sight. You've seen Galatea go down. You've seen the head sliced off another one of these creatures fly across the sky. Moira, thankfully, has been pulled free, but still covered in this horrible grey ooze, and going over to try and to stabilize Galatea. From your vantage point, what would you like to do next?
I'm just gonna have to ask, with Galatea being, she's prone technically, right?
Yes, prone, yeah.
And Moira is shorter than me. Am I able to shoot at the ghoul?
Yeah, you can shoot the ghoul. That's no problem. Yeah.
Just so I don't hit Moira in
Yeah,
the head.
it's fine. I mean, it's a 5-foot area, so when you're doing that, it's the arrow would be able to go through whatever your magic spell or whatever it is you're trying to fire would be able to go over them anyway. It's fine.
Yep. Yes, thought I would check, but
Yep.
yeah. Seeing the bravery of this little mouseling just being pulled out of the dirt and just rushing over to save one of our friends, he's gonna gather up his own courage to stop retreating and fire off another Eldritch Blast over them, trying to hit the ghoul, trying to get it away from them.
Okay, so you're aiming for this creature here, are you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
Man, come yet.
Oh dear. Unfortunately, that even with your next Eldritch Blast, again, like the first one, just going wide of the mark. You're not sure why you're not able to get the aim right on this. Perhaps the creature is just moving too wildly, but for whatever reason, it fires past and hits the trunk of another tree again, scorching it, but not making purchase.
I mean, judging by your description of our magic's last session, it could be that he's not used to how this realm has affected his magic.
It might still be putting off, yeah. So it's this skeletal, did we say a skeletal kind of like snake almost, isn't it?
Yeah,
kind of
skeletal
flying through.
serpent, pretty much.
That's right, yeah.
And even
Skeletal.
that is kind of throwing him off.
Yes, it probably is as well. It's probably looks slightly different, so you're not able to, where it's hitting is not like a ball of energy or anything going through again. It's kind of like wiggling its way through the air, so it's taking a little bit more precision. You're having to practice of getting this aim right, but fortunately on this time it didn't quite go through. But yes. Anything else you'd like to do?
And I would like to avoid moving around this sludge as much as possible, but I also feel like if I move, I'm gonna have to roll anyway.
If you travel in areas where you've seen people run, I'll say that's fine. But if you move anywhere else where people haven't, you will have to make a perception check to see if you're gonna end up in any of it.
Okay, then I can move here, considering that's where I rounded around Kane earlier.
Yeah. So this square and this square is known. This one and this one are not known because they haven't gone in there.
those two would. The only one I have not passed through in that area is the one right above Moira, because that's where Kane was standing.
Oh, so you ran through here earlier, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, all right, all right. So we'll say that area is safe as well then. Perfect. All right, you can move to where you are.
And that would be my turn.
Okay, no worries. Galatea, you are unconscious currently, unable to do anything, but you are currently stable.
Yes. So, what do I do? Which button do I click?
There is nothing you can do currently because you're not able to move. You're not able to bring yourself back. You are just unconscious at this moment in time.
Okay, but I'm not. Like,
but you're not. You're not. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that for you. Oh.
Stop saying sorry, Moira. You can pull me back.
Well, in fact, actually, I can't take it off because it's an automated thing on the thing. It just means you're down at the moment. It doesn't mean you're dead. But yeah, I can't take it off currently because it's a different piece of the software. But yeah, so you're unconscious at the moment. All right, Kane, it is your turn.
It's a pain because unfortunately I've used up all my spells. So I'd like to get Galatea back up, but I think the best thing I could do would be to try and beat down the enemies so that they can't do any further harm.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it might warrant an attack of opportunity against me, but I'm going to see if I can move far enough. So it's 5, 10, 15, 25. So if I was to move myself here by going around, would I then gain flanking against the creature?
No, because flanking you have to be exactly opposite, and you're not, unfortunately, in that position. You'd have to be one further down.
I will risk 2 attacks of opportunity. I really want this.
Well, you've only got 1 attack of opportunity attack because this one is currently dead. So it's just from this one.
I'd be moving in this guy's threatened space, technically, if I was here.
It's only when you leave creatures.
It's only when you leave. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's fine. No problem.
Some creatures have an ability which when you enter their area of attack, but it's if you're leaving generally.
See, everyone, I've managed to get Fey to admit that this thing doesn't have that ability. It was
there you go.
Ploy.
It's a strat. It's a very horrible zombie dog. It doesn't have much abilities. It can't even bite. It's fun. So
I really want this thing dead. So once I've had the attack of opportunity made against me, because I want to keep my AC up for that, I will then afterwards drop my shield and use my quarterstaff versatile.
Okay. All right. So let me take the attack of opportunity for you. So as you try and move out of its range, the creature is going to take a claw attack against you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, he manages to catch me as I'm fleeing.
As you turn and you move your shield to one side, it sees an opportunity in the softer area that's uncovered from your armor, and it tries to take attack, clawing you. Let's see how much damage it does. 9 points of damage.
Oh, I'm down to 1 HP.
So it rakes your body with these horrible pointy claws, and you feel this burning sensation on the back of your leg as you try and turn away from it. You're not sure if it's just the pain or whether there was something on its nails, like maybe they haven't washed for a while. There's just some sort of dirt or something on it, but whatever it is, it's you feel it burning from this claw mark it's made against you, and you feel very, very bad at the moment. But you make it to where you are, and so you drop the shield and you take your quarterstaff in both hands.
Yes. I will make an attack against the thing now with flanking with Tisman.
You can indeed, yes, with advantage.
Tisman probably sees Kane after that nasty claw attack, basically limp up to this thing and try to hit it.
Yep.
Okay, 1 quarterstaff attack. Guessing I need to hit attack and then versatile.
Yes, that's right.
Oh dear.
Yep, the 13 hits. That's fine.
Phew.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Okay.
Yep, you hit this little doggy.
4. Oh, 5.
5. Okay, so you bring your quarterstaff down on this creature's head. You do bash it good on the top of the head, and it does take damage from it. But this creature looks like it's possibly undead, and so from what you see part of the skull kind of like on the face of this animal as it lunges and tries to take attacks against Tisfan. It doesn't look very healthy, this creature, and that blow to the top of the head seems to injure it, but it doesn't. It seems quite willing to carry on fighting. It's not put off. Anything else you can do?
No, I think that's it, but hopefully things are easier for Tisman now. Fingers crossed.
Perfect. Okay, Bula, what would you like to do?
Well, first things first, you said I didn't have my weapon ready, but I had my quarterstaff out from helping Moiras. Does that not count as ready still?
Well, I was assuming that if you were going to grab Bula out, you would have put it down temporarily. So, yes, we'll say that you've got it ready to go. But, yeah.
Okay, right. Well, then, seeing as she's still in a rage, and she's just watched Ken get mauled by this creature, she is going to run over to it and scream, basically, "How dare you! Wound damage!" And she's gonna try and attack it with her quarterstaff.
Okay, no worries. Go for it.
I think I rolled it wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you should be rolling with advantage, I don't think. So could you roll that again? Just a d20?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So sorry. What are you attacking? I don't know. Where are you?
I had moved forward and down, and I'm attacking the one in front of Galati.
Okay. Hang on. Let me just move you where you need to be. Okay. So you're heading this creature here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you rolled a 12. Which is its armor class, so you hit, and then you rolled 7 damage, yeah?
Oh, no, I've accidentally rolled attack again.
Oh, okay.
So I'll roll
All right.
damage.
Okay, no worries.
Eight damage.
8 damage, very nice. Okay. So you, this is with the quarterstaff, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so you twirl your quarterstaff around and you bring it down, hitting the top of the head of this creature, and you do a significant amount of damage to it. Yes, it looks like it did not enjoy that being bashed in the head, and it screams at you and growls and looks directly at you. It looks like it's pretty angry. Anything else?
That is it for her turn.
Excellent. Okay. I'm just having a look at your character sheet. You don't have your weapons or anything in there. I don't know if it's because you don't have them equipped in D&D Beyond, but don't seem to be in your list at the moment for some reason, but that's fine. I'll check that out later. Can't see it for some reason. Anyway, perfect. All right, so nothing else?
No, nothing else.
Perfect. All right. Tisfan.
Tisfan is gonna beat a dog.
Okay, go for it. And so you have advantage on this because you have flanking with Kane.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
21.
Okay, 21. Nice. Yes, you easily hit this creature. Roll me some damage. See how much damage you could do. 13. Ooh, very nice. Okay, so you take a big wide arc with your glaive, slicing through this creature, and you do a significant amount of damage to it. You see this half-dead looking animal leap around, and as you slice it, you catch the underside of its belly, and you just see like organs and bits just sort of like flop out and hit the ground. The creature itself looks badly wounded, but even with this amount of damage that you think would kill any normal animal, it still holds its ground and growls at you, ready to make another attack, but it is now heavily wounded. Anything else?
When it growls at Tisvan, Tisvan growls back.
Excellent. All right, top of the round, Moira.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Nope, wrong thing. Decisions. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I am gonna cure wounds. Galatea. Yes.
Nobody's saying anything.
What are you doing?
I'm doing cure wounds.
Okay, well then roll healing. Okay, so you lay your hands down onto the body of Galatea, who is currently stable, and you use your magic to instill in her 8 points of healing, and you bring Galatea back to consciousness. Galatea, you can add 8 points of healing to your character, bring them back up again. You're still laying on the floor, but you are currently conscious. There you go. No longer dead.
No longer dead.
Perfect. All right, Moira, you've healed and brought back Galatea. Was there anything else you'd like to do?
Sorry. Give me just a second.
Moira, was there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Okay. No worries. All right. So, that ghoul is dead. All right. It's now the zombie dog's turn. So, the zombie dog it's been flanked both sides. It doesn't really like that. It is going to take the opportunity to... it's got the creature behind it. It looks well armored and is attacking as well, but looks a bit injured. There's Tisvan in front of it there as well. I think it's going to go for Tisvan again, only because it did a huge amount of damage to it in the last turn, and it is not pleased with you at all. So he's going to take another lunge, possibly its last, at you, Tisvan. And he's going to make a slam attack. And then it's a natural 1 for a maximum of 4. So once again, this creature tries to lunge forward, but I think possibly from the attack you did with the glaive, you actually managed to sever a part of its neck as well. So when it reaches its mouth open, trying to get by, its lower jaw just comes away, and it has nothing else to actually bite you with. And it just like effortlessly sort of bumps up against you, but does no damage at all, and looks at you kind of like, tilts its head to the side like dogs do. And that's its go, unfortunately. All right, the ghoul. Galatea, you come to, and this ghoul is still standing over you. However, it's not focused on you currently. It is focused on the half-orc woman who's come over and smacked it on the head with a big stick. It's not very happy. So, Bula, it's going to try and take an attack against you. I think it's going to try and claw at you. So, let's see what it does. Does a 7 hit you?
I'm going to say no, but I just need to double check.
Yeah, you've got an armor class of 13, so you should be fine. Perfect. All right, so it throws out its hand to try and claw at you, but you just bat it away, probably with the end of your quarterstaff, and it makes no purchase on you at all, and it just kind of growls and screams at you, wanting to another attack again, but unable. Amaros, your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I need to bloody hit this thing one way or another. Please, dice gods, play with me. This is getting ridiculous.
Another Eldritch Blast?
Yep, and he's just gonna call out, please just go away. Fine.
Go for it.
Finally a high roll.
Oh, very nice. 24. Yes, you definitely hit. You're aiming for the ghoul, I assume?
Yep, and there was the low roll.
Oh dear. Well, you still hit it. So this serpent, this bony sort of serpent skeletal creature, that you fire out, that now takes the form of your Eldritch Blast, fires across, and this time hitting its target, and you just see this ice blue sort of energy just crackle. Although diminished, it does still hit and injure this creature, and you just see it for a moment sort of almost get sort of this electric shock going through its body before it manages to shake it off. And you do 2 points of damage. Perfect. Anything else you'd like to do?
Using an item is an action, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it will be, yeah.
Then I will not be doing anything at the moment.
Okay, no problem. All right, Galatea, you are laying prone on the ground, but you are conscious and you feel pretty good. You are almost back up to full health again. There's a ghoul standing just over you. You've just seen it's been hit by some glowing energy. It doesn't seem to have noticed that you've stirred, though.
If I lay still, can I get a sneak attack?
I think a sneak attack is only if you have that ability. Do you not? You don't think you do you?
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately not.
No. Gonna get up and stab it.
Okay, so you stand up with half your movement, and you're going to take a stab at it. Go for it. Very good. 23. Nice. Yes, you definitely managed to pierce the flesh of this creature. Please give me a damage roll. Nice. 5 points of piercing damage. And are you aiming for a particular body part, or are you just slashing at it?
Sort of back of the neck.
Back of the neck. Excellent. All right. So you slash, catching the back of the neck of this creature, and you see blood start pouring down to the back of its head. It didn't notice you before, but now it realizes that you're back up again, and it's now surrounded on two sides by other creatures. But it still menacingly sort of like screams out at you, looking backwards and forwards, deciding what to do next. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm just gonna stand my ground.
Okay. Perfect.
I sort of wanted to scream back, but I don't think so.
No worries. Okay, Kane, you are heavily wounded at the moment, but this dog also looks like it's heavily wounded. What are you going to do?
Yeah, same again. If I'm going down, I'm taking it with me.
Go for it.
Okay, 15.
15, yeah, 15 hits. Roll for damage.
Great. Fingers crossed. Oh.
4 points. Okay, so with that, you slice at the zombie dog, and it does indeed fall down to the ground. But I need to make another roll. Let's see. So that was 4 damage. No, not that one. Okay, so the dog hits the ground, and you just see the life go out of it. For a moment, there was a kind of a flicker in the eyes as if it might have survived that damage, but it quickly winks out, and the dog is dead.
Seeing the amount of damage that the dog had taken, Kane quickly thinks to himself, what's the best way to disable its natural weapons? And he just goes for an almost baseball bat type swing straight into the side of its jaw.
Excellent. And it's only got the top jaw now, so you basically take what remains of its face off.
Yeah, just get it out of my face.
Yeah, so you again, similar to how Tisfin sort of decapitated the other one, you take what remains of this animal's head, and it just goes and flying off into the underbrush, and its body just falls down in the what little remained of its body in the first place, and it lays there dead. Anything else that you would like to do?
Probably, now that I'm not going to get hit for moving, move myself up to the remaining enemy and try to help, I guess.
Okay, so the last remaining enemy is this one here in the corner. So you can move 5, 10, 15 if you want to get there.
Can I go through this tree here? Is that blocking my movement?
So yeah, you could probably squeeze through there, I would say, yeah.
Okay, so that's 5. That's 15, so that makes it up to 20. Cool.
You can move through friendly spaces, so you can go 5, 10, 15. Get there if you want.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, let me grab Kane and plonk him over there.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I will end my turn there, basically
Okay.
grabbing my wound as I walk, and then practically snarling at this thing.
Excellent. Okay, Bula, it is your turn. You've bonked this creature with its head. It tried to take an attack at you with swiping. You've deflected it away. What would you like to do now?
I mean, she's still angry and raging, so she's just gonna swipe at it again. And
Go for it.
She's gonna be screaming wound magic while she does it, because she's sure she's hitting it with herself.
Excellent. Use your magic wand. So, do you get advantage with your rage at the moment?
Technically, no. I get a bonus to specific.
Oh, yeah. It's
weapons
advantage on
and
strength and things. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you had advantage. That's fine. Okay. Unfortunately, a 9 is not going to hit it. You wave your staff around again, your magic wand again. This time, though, the creature seems to be wise to your attacks and just dodges out of the way. And then it kind of growls at you, menacing, ready to take another attack at you. Is there anything else you've got? Any other bonus actions or anything you'd like to do?
I think that's all I can do for now.
Okay. Tisfin. One enemy remains. Doggo down. Other creature down. This one here looks quite badly wounded.
Yeah, Tisfan is just gonna take a swipe at it with the glaive.
Go for it. Oh dear.
Nope.
Unfortunately, you can't quite get the swing that you want with it, be having 2 of your comrades around with you, and you try, but the creature manages to jump to one side and avoid the glaive slicing into it.
Fair.
Okay, anything else?
No, not yet.
Okay, top of the round, Moira. You brought Galatea back to full strength, almost full strength again. She stands before you, trying to take a stab at this creature. Amaros is behind you, firing out bolts of energy, coursing across the sky. And you can see the rest of the party have felled almost all of the enemies here, apart from one. What would you like to do? By the way, you're still covered in this slimy, this grey stuff, but it has started to dry on you, which is making it a little less sloppy as you move around.
Who had bless, by the way? What was it?
You had bless, and so did Moira and Bula. They gave you a +4 to attacks and saving throws, I think.
Yes. If I were to move here,
Yep.
would I be able to cast a spell on this guy?
Sure, yeah.
Yeet. I'm gonna Sacred Flame that bitch.
Sacred Flame.
It is a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw, is it? Okay, let's see. What's the DC?
12.
12? Okay, let's see if he can make a dexterity saving throw. It does.
Ah, man.
Yes, he doesn't do any other damage, half damage, or anything from that either. So you bring down this column. And what did we say before? I can't remember how we described this column.
Basically, it would be like a flame-like radiance, the color of the sun, but because of this world, it was like purplish
Color, and it was diminished. It wasn't quite as bright, was it, as you normally have it? But it does come down. However, this creature is able to just, as it's flipping around and sort of deflecting itself against Bula's attack, it dodges Tisfan's attack. It then sees this column being brought down as well. It manages to move out. It's just dodging and weaving, trying every movement it can just to avoid it, and it manages to avoid any of the attacks that are coming to it at the moment. Is there anything else you can do?
No.
Okay. All right. It is now the creature's go, and it has a decision to make. So, give me 1 second. Make a roll here. Okay. Kane. It is going to try and take an attack against you.
Oh no. This is not going to end well.
Okay. It is going to, seeing that you seem to be the one in the worst condition, it's going to try and hedge its bets and take you down before, and to make the 4 people around it 3. It is going to try and jump forward and it's going to try and bite you.
Oh yeah. That
21 to hit.
that'll do it.
Okay. I'm going to have to roll damage, I'm afraid. Can I just see what's your maximum hit points? All right. Rollo. Okay, that's not too bad. 5 points of damage.
Just as it sinks its teeth into me, just an from Kane as he falls to the floor.
And you slump to the floor as you feel these teeth sink into your already damaged leg, and the burning sensation intensifies to a point that you just lose consciousness and you fall to the ground. Bula, Tisfan, Galatea, you see this armored character just fall to the ground, having been it. Galatea, you very recently having fallen to the same effect, and this creature just looks around at you with this huge, horrible grin of teeth, licking its lips, its tongue, almost like extremely long, just licking around its lips, almost taunting you. And that is its go. Amaros.
Eldritch Blast, let's freaking go.
Go for it. 18 hits.
18?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna, just for flavor, say that Amorous fires the Eldritch Blast upwards, and having what remains of Mora's light be pretty much the guidance for it, because it coils around what remains and strike down on the ghoul.
Okay. Awesome.
To do 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. Okay, so this energy that you bring down upon it slams into the side of it again, and you see that it takes another heavy hit. It was able to dodge a lot of the attacks previously, but as it was taunting the others after bringing down Kane, it didn't see you attacking, and it gets slammed in the back of the head with this thing. However, it shakes itself and it steadies its feet again, still remaining heavily wounded, but still alive. Anything else you'd like to do?
That is all I can do, sadly.
Okay, no
I'm
worries.
hoping you would have killed it.
Galatea, this creature, mockingly sticking its tongue out, licking its lips after killing Kane, or making Kane go unconscious. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna step up close and go, don't you fucking dare! And I'm gonna raise my arms slowly and lift the creature up off the ground 20 feet with levitate.
With levitate, okay, no worries. Let me have a little look at the spell.
Actually, up to 20 feet, isn't it?
Let's see. So, one creature of you or loose object of your choice that can see within range rises vertically up to 20 feet and remains suspended there for the duration. The spell can levitate a target that weighs 500 pounds, and one creature that receives a Constitution saving throw is unaffected. So I need to make a Constitution saving throw to see if I can avoid this from happening. So, first of all, let's do the Constitution. So what is the DC that I need to beat?
Constitution 13.
13. Okay, let's see.
No!
Ooh. So you try to use your levitate spell to levitate this creature, but being still new to these abilities that you have, you begin to see the ground, the air swirl. But there's something different about the air here. It's very humid. It feels very, almost claustrophobic where you are at the moment, and you just can't get the same sort of control of the wind that you had before, and it just sort of peters out and doesn't seem to take hold.
It's gonna look sort of incredibly disappointed and heartbroken, and just I can't do anything else, can I?
Not unless you've got a bonus action or something that you can do.
Yeah.
That would have been cool, though. That would have been cool.
And that. I'm sad.
Sorry about that. But
why are you sorry? The roll.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool. I would have liked to have seen it get flung up into the air and then dropped on its head. But unfortunately, you know that you need to focus. You need to focus more. Kane, could you please make me your first death saving throw?
Yes, I sure can.
Now, the last time we had one, it was a 1. So that's obviously not going to happen, because it can't happen more than once in a game. So you know that it's not going to be a 1. So that's good.
Faye, I swear. Okay, I actually need to...
Why do you gotta jinx it, Faye?
This is
I
the
need to-
I've blessed you. That's what I've done.
He does it deliberately. He wants
I mean,
to-
with the balance of things, it could actually be that he has to roll a 2.
No, don't double jinx it.
But only a 1 is a double. So if he gets a 2, he loses 1, but he's got 2 more goes. So 1 is the bad one.
Okay, I need...
But he's not going to get that, so it's fine.
I need to find death saving throws first.
Okay, click on your character. Go
Yep.
to utility. Go down to death saves.
Okay, death saves, and then just click it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want it whispered, or is it public?
Just do it public, I think, for now.
Yay!
Hey, it's
that's
a pass.
16.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, so you're okay. You've got one success.
Whew.
Okay, but that is the end of your go. Bula, this creature still mockingly jumps in front of you, and you've just seen it bring down Kane. They fall into the ground in front of it, and it looks back at you, laughing and almost with its tongue licking the blood around its lips.
You know what? This time round, I think in her rage, she's just gonna full on go for a punch and get that bonus from her rage as well.
Okay. Go for it.
Plus
It hits. Yep. So you, in your rage, you bring back your fist, and what do you do? Where do you punch this creature?
Right in the nose.
Okay, so you slam this creature with all of your fury, all of your rage. Seeing Kane lying on the floor, you punch this creature right in its face, and you do. How much damage was that?
That was a 4.
A 4. And with that, you crack this creature as hard as you can in the face. How do you kill it?
Because she's angry, it has took down her man. She is just going to be screaming at him, "That's Kane!" And she's going to full on just rear her shoulder back and plow forward with all of her strength straight in the nose, and she's going to knock its head back and send it flying.
Excellent. And you do that. You punch it with all of your power and rage right in its face. You feel as your fist connects with its face and in the nose just crack and give way, and you almost put your fist into the skull of this creature as its face just fractures. Its laugh suddenly became a howl of scream as you punch it. It flies back, slamming into the tree behind you, its neck fracturing. You hear the crack, and it slumps lifeless to the ground. And with that, we are now out of combat.
Help.
on it.
Tisvan will kneel down beside Kane and use two
And loot
of
him.
his. No, it's not that bad. But he'll use two of his lay on hands to heal Kane for at least 2 points, so he comes up.
Perfect. Do you have to roll for that, or is it you can choose how much?
Yeah, I have a pool of 5 currently,
Cool. So
I
you
use
give
2
him
of them.
2 of them. Okay, perfect. All right, just mark that down. All right, Kane. So energy flows into you, and you suddenly take a breath again as you regain consciousness. Still feeling weakened from your attack, but back with the living again.
Was that?
Moira is gonna back away.
Be careful.
Wait, hold. And just crying a little bit. Just, I'm sorry.
But you don't go anywhere that you haven't been before, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Was it Tisvan that healed me?
Yes.
Yep.
I will sort of turn. I'm still laying down on the floor. My leg still really hurts, but I will kind of like turn my head to Tisvan. Thank you. I didn't realize that you were a fellow man of the cloth.
A man of the cloth, yes, just a different one.
I see. Well, thank you for your assistance. It's appreciated.
Don't worry about it. Then Tisvan will reach his hand out to help Kane back to his feet.
Thank you.
once he's got Kane back on his feet, she is also going to grab Tisbin, and she's just going to grab his hand and shake it up and down profusely, like a really aggressive handshake, and she's going like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No worries. No worries.
Do you have to be proficient with healer's kits to use them, or can you use them anyway?
I will have to look that up. I feel like you have to be proficient. 1 second. Oh no, it has 10 uses. As an action, you can expend 1 use of the kit to stabilize a creature that has 0 hit points, without needing to make a wisdom medicine check. So yeah, so if you were doing a stabilizing normally, and anyone can stabilize, but they have to make a wisdom check by trying to like hold it. But if you have a healer's kit, you essentially can do it without having to make a roll.
Cool. I'll keep that for next time.
But it doesn't heal you; it just stabilizes essentially.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
I'm
so
just gonna sit down then.
So yeah, you look around this area. The creatures you see, one decapitated body still impaled on a javelin, a dog almost completely destroyed, and another one smashed to pieces and laying underneath a tree. Moira, you're covered still in the drying mud or whatever it is clinging to you, but it's now you can sort of start brushing it out of your fur. However, you're going to need to find some sort of water or stream to really purge it from your skin, but it's not as slimy and sticky as it was before. Bula, your arms similarly are coated in this drying grey ashen sort of powder now that's on your arms as the slime or the sludge that was there is starting to dry on your skin.
Can I move up to Moira and possibly help her?
If you like.
I would actually like to pull out my wand of prestidigitation and touch Moira and Bula once each to use 2 short, just to literally just clean them up.
Oh, that's fantastic! Yeah.
Yeah, that seems all right to me. If the rest of you are okay with that, yeah, you can use your prestidigitation. Yeah. And now that this stuff is more like a sort of a grey sort of drying powder, it's easy enough to kind of your spell will clean it away from the body without incident. And both of you are now much cleaner and fresher, and there is no remaining residue on you.
As Kane approaches Moira, Moira is still just repeating, I'm sorry.
There's no need to be sorry, little one. You didn't know that the floor was going to give way.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, it's okay. Did you at least manage to get that mushroom that you were after?
Immediately at the mention of the mushroom. Oh, yes.
Oh, well, that's not so bad then. I happen to know a spell that can check for poisons. I'm out of magic for now, but if we can find somewhere to rest where we're not going to be pursued by monsters, I'd be happy to cast it for you and see if we can eat it without any adverse effects.
Oh. Well, actually, now that you mention that, I also have that spell, but I am also out of magic energy. We shall leave it for tomorrow.
Yes, apparently so.
Miss Galatea, I think I overheard you say earlier that you had a vague idea of where we might be.
The lady at the fair, the with the horns, she said they'd come and take us. And she said something about someone finding the entrance. We're in the Feywild. I mean, look at it. Have you ever seen anything like this?
I'm not very familiar with the Feywild.
I've heard descriptions of it, but every description is so different that no one can really tell what is what.
I mean,
But you might have a point.
I've always imagined Feywild would be a lot more colorful, nicer. Definitely anything but this.
I mean, I wouldn't expect to find the Walking Dead, or whatever these things are, in here.
Well, wherever we are, it's connected to the town. It's... Oh, sorry. I'm so tired. We need to find some sort of shelter.
Agreed.
Yeah, no second. I'm not arguing with that.
Oh,
Let's.
I can cook.
Then let's get going. I can go ahead and use my glaive to look for any more of these spots, so we don't fall in again.
Yeah. Hey, who got me back?
That was Moira.
Yes,
Thank you, Moira.
that would have been me. I'm so sorry.
Why are you sorry? I called them here with the stupid spell. I'm sorry.
But I was the one who got caught.
No, you saved us. Come, let's
Any of
go.
us could have been caught in that.
Let's go.
Okay, so are you continuing in the northern direction, following the path?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tisman, you said you're going to use your glaive to try and help find a safe path through.
Yeah, just sweep it across the ground, sweeping away any branches and other things.
Okay, give me a perception check with advantage.
All right.
Well, actually, let's say that it's survival. I think because you're going to be looking out for these sort of patches, or at least some clues as to whether or not they're coming along. So we'll see it's survival rather than perception, but still with advantage.
That was a 9 and a natural 20.
Perfect. Okay, so with a natural 20, we'll say that with your glaive, you're able to sort of use it as a rod on the floor, tapping areas that seem a little bit unsafe. And if you go back and you have a look at some of the area where this sludge was, the reason you didn't really sort of see it before is because obviously this path has not been traveled for a long time. Leaves and twigs and things and just dust and dirt have kind of covered over it, and it almost had like a crust to it because it has been displaced. But once it's been shown and moved around, and it goes back to its sort of a liquidy state. And so you look around on the ground trying to find areas that might be particularly dodgy, where there's a plant growing, you assume that must be solid ground where you see anything that could be like stones or anything like that along the path that haven't sunk. You assume that's a good area, but you use your glaive a couple of times, finding the edge of an area that seems to be this kind of quicksand stuff, but you manage to move through it successfully. And you continue along the path for about another 10 minutes or so, looking out for a place, probably to try and rest. The noises of the forest still unease you, but you don't hear any more cries or screams from any creatures. After about 10 minutes or so, before the path comes to an end, you find a small clearing ahead, almost swallowed up by the dark, impenetrable forest around you. You see high stone buttresses that are entangled by the thick black briar that you've seen in the trees, and a pair of huge ornate bronze gates stand hanging from the stonework. The humid air over time seems to have tarnished it, and there are parts of the bars that you see that have rusted and decayed. Flanking these gates, you see two headless, naked statues of women in what appears to be mid-dance from either side. Their heads now lay among the briar and weeds by their feet. However, this place does seem to be quiet. It does seem to be slightly more enclosed and hidden than the rest of the area that you found, and it looks like it's a place that you could possibly make camp, at least for a short time.
Do we feel like maybe this is a good place to stop and lick our wounds clean?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
We'll need to take watches.
I can take the first watch.
I only need to rest for about 4 hours, so if someone can take a watch or two during that, I can take the rest of the night.
Oh, I'll take the first as well. There should be at least two of us. Galatea is just shaking now. Clearly can't calm down.
Amaros moves over to her and gives her a supportive gesture with the arm around her shoulder. And just go, I think we're all a bit shaken up by this.
Oh, she's gonna move out of that straight away. Ah, sorry. Thanks. But that's alright.
Ah, my bad. I was just trying to comfort you.
Yeah, thanks. She's gonna awkwardly rub her neck, just shuffle over to the side a little.
Who is going to take watch with Moira?
Oh, I'll do it, Kane. Don't worry.
All right. I figured we should probably have someone taller with her, just in case.
Oh. Who else said they'll take the first? I'm confused.
Amaros and Galatea are taking the first watch.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
And are you intending to have a short rest or a long rest?
Long if possible.
Okay.
For me, I don't know. I'm all out of everything.
A short rest would get me my health back. A long rest would get me my spells back.
What do you think?
I say long.
I'm fine with long too. Short works for Amaros, but considering the situation, I think people need a few more hours to just calm their nerves.
Perfect. Okay. So with whatever you have on you, and however you can make yourself as comfortable as possible, you make yourself a little camp of sorts by these stone buttresses and gates. After the ordeal of the battle that you had with these creatures, all still very uneasy, still feeling like you're not as safe as you would like to. You prefer to be somewhere a little bit more enclosed, or perhaps a little bit somewhere away from this path, away from this area. However, having this stone wall at your back at least affords you the luxury of having one area of safety between you and the dark forest. And you begin your watch, you begin your rests, and we will leave it there for tonight. Thank you very much for playing.
Woo!
Holy.
Oh, that was a lot.
There was a lot that happened there. And I am glad that you all managed to survive, but there was some bad rolls there, guys. Luckily, I rolled some bad ones as well for my attacks, so... But just so you know...
you said this would be a deadly campaign, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to that point, that was a deadly encounter. So,
Level
well
1
done.
is scary.
Well done for surviving it. Just
Level
let
one,
you...
Level 1.
Just to let you know,
Level 1.
if you had continued moving, it is possible that you could have avoided it. But, of course, that would mean you'd have to have let Moira down.
Or if we had maybe considered stealthing when we turned the corner, so they wouldn't have known which way we were going.
Possibly. There were lots of different options. Lots of different options, but you managed to survive it, so that is good. And we will resolve what happens in our next adventure. But for the moment, you are relatively safe, and at least having a rest now to hopefully regain your strength, regain your abilities, or whatever is beyond these gates.